Hello, Westford. The State Attorney General's office just cleared selectmen of violating the open meeting law. Speaking of selectmen, they'll be recommending an override of Proposition 2.5, and the Agricultural Commission will tell town meeting voters how they feel about developing Drew Gardens. I'm Ira Keltz, and it's time for WestfordCAT News. Residents just lost another battle in the asphalt plant struggle. In a letter dated March 1st, State Assistant Attorney General Jonathan Sklarczyk determined that the Westford Board of Selectmen did not violate the open meeting law when negotiating with Richard DeFelice of Newport Materials on a settlement agreement for a proposed asphalt plant for 540 Groton Road. Sklarczyk's letter references complaints filed by 3 Westford residents who accused town officials of not properly giving notice for a series of behind-closed-door meetings. Sklarczyk wrote, "The boards decided to appoint a representative to participate in the mediation. The boards denied that they engaged in any deliberation outside of noticed meetings, and we find no evidence suggesting that there were any discussions outside of noticed meetings. Therefore, we find no violation of the open meeting law with respect to this allegation." For more information about this decision, read our story at westfordcatnews.org, and we'll continue to follow the story as it develops. Sparks flew during a 2.5-hour-long discussion by the Planning Board on March 6th. That led to no action regarding a proposed long-term traffic monitoring plan for the 540 Groton Road, which is the site of the proposed asphalt plant. Here's a clip of resident Alyssa Nakashian-Holzberg addressing the board.
We're saying 200 for the site, but that's not my concern right now. My concern is, how is this traffic monitoring plan going to ensure us in this community that there are only 200 trucks being utilized to run this asphalt plant operation? And based on what I've seen on that paper, especially where it says asphalt carrying, I don't see how the software is going to know to count these 150 going through Commerce Way and know to count these 50 on the intersite camera, but not the other 300 that might just be crushing stone or taking stone to put onto the railway that's going to take it across the street via rail yard for processing.
So
The Planning Board hearing was continued to March 20th. You can visit westfordcat.org to see the entire meeting. In a joint meeting of the Finance Committee and Selectmen on March 2nd, members voted to recommend an override of Proposition 2.5. The override means that property taxes would rise over 3 years to raise an additional $3 million in revenues. School committee members say Westford teachers are earning about 6% less than their colleagues in comparable communities, and the additional funds would fund salary increases.
I'll make a motion that we recommend Article 13.
I'll second.
All in favor of the Finance Committee? All opposed?
Okay. Is there a motion from the Board
I'll
of
make a
Selectmen?
motion to recommend Article 13.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And one recusal.
The Finance Committee vote was 3-2, and the Selectmen voted 4-0, both in favor of the recommendation. Selectman Mark Cost abstained because his wife is a Westford teacher. The recommendation will be brought to the March 25th annual town meeting, where voters will be asked if they approve the permanent tax hike. Proposition 2.5 is a state law that limits property tax increases to 2.5% plus new growth. In the open hearing session, resident Paul Fossbender announced that the Senior Center will be holding a meeting for seniors who are concerned about the rising cost of living in town. Here's what he had to say.
I was asked to help get the word out about a meeting that's been set up to discuss the potential financial impact of some of the town meeting activities on the seniors of town. Jennifer Claro and the staff at the Senior Center have set up a meeting on March 21st at 1:30 involving the Superintendent of Schools, the Finance Director, and a director of the tax assessor's office to help address any concerns that seniors have about some of the spending that's happening in Westford, and also to discuss some of the exemption programs that are available to seniors 60 and over.
WestfordCAT will bring you the seniors' comments in a future news show. Check back at westfordcat.org. Uncertainty kept the Agricultural Commission from voting March 6th on whether to recommend a town meeting citizen petition regarding the 9 acres at 66 Boston Road, also known as Drew Gardens. They ended up taking no action while they seek clarification about the petition's wording, which, if approved, would authorize the Board of Selectmen to amend one of 3 agricultural preservation restrictions. Here's Agricultural Commissioner Keith Boney predicting the outcome of the March 25th vote.
So it's going to go, I think it's going to go down in this town meeting. Unless, no, it will go down anyway. Even if the faction of people that are opposed to the development might, and this is just a guess, they might vote to not dismiss it, so that the town meeting is forced to deal with it once and for all.
The Commission will convene just before annual town meeting to decide what they will say to voters. Visit westfordcatnews.org for a story and photos about the meeting. More than 30 voters from the town's Chinese community met with the 3 candidates running for Board of Selectmen in May's townwide election. On March 4th, Agricultural Commissioner Elizabeth Almeida, School Committee member Tom Clay, and Planning Board Chairman Dennis Galvin greeted residents at the J.V. Fletcher Library. Among the key issues discussed were the controversial asphalt plant proposed for 540 Groton Road, transparency of local government, open communication channels to better connect with the residents, schools and community building, and the character and future of Westford. All of this according to resident Dong Chung Wong. March 8th was deemed International Women's Day by the group, which calls itself Women's March on Washington. The group promoted a day without women, asking all women to do one of the following: take the day off from paid and unpaid labor, avoid shopping, or wear red in solidarity. WestfordCAT checked out shopping areas to see if local people were observing the day.
Hi, this is Joyce Polino Crane. I'm here at the Westford Valley Marketplace today, Wednesday, March 8th. It's International Women's Day, and we're here to see if any women are shopping today, because there's a movement afoot that is asking women not to work and not to shop on this day. It's called A Day Without a Woman. So we're wondering, are women shopping? We've so far seen a few come out of the paper store and other stores here at the Westford Valley Marketplace. But we don't know, and we're going to find out. So let's see what happens. I'm here today with Edward Safran, and he's observing International Women's Day in his own way. Ed, tell us what you did with your daughters today.
I sent both of my daughters greeting cards for International Women's Day.
Where do they live?
One lives in Utah and one lives in Massachusetts.
And how did you send the card?
I sent it through email, so it was an email card, so there was no paper used, no recycling, didn't have to deal with throwing out paper. I used email cards.
And what made you think of doing this?
I heard on the news that it was International Women's Day, and they're both girls or women, and I figured it would be a nice thing to send them a card.
So we've been at the Westford Valley Marketplace for about 20 minutes, and we have not been successful in finding women who are not shopping and who are observing the day called A Day Without a Woman in honor of International Women's Day. This is Joyce Polino Crane at the Westford Valley Marketplace. Have a great day.
We'll continue to follow the Women's March movement, which was the group that led the January 20th gatherings around the country. The Westford Business Association sponsored a town managers talk on March 7th to share information about the area's economic development. Here's Westford Town Manager Jody Ross.
Since 2010, over 850 units have been built. We are near our safe harbor, 8.3%. We need to get to 10%, and we're going to be there shortly. So we have Alder Point is 8 townhouses on Route 40, Groton Road, and we also have permits for 450 new apartments. And Bill Olson, our school superintendent sitting here, is gasping at this. He was looking at whether we could close a school, but no. Now all of a sudden, we got kids coming to towns.
WestfordCAT will keep an eye on any new economic developments in town. Here's news from Town Hall.
Good morning, Westford. I am Eric Heidemann, and this is your bi-weekly town manager update. Today, I have a couple business and development opportunities that I'm going to go over. First, I've been speaking about it in previous weeks, the 12 North Main Street Mill. The town is looking for a developer to take this property and rehabilitate it. We have put a historic preservation on the property, and we've recently released a request for proposals on February 15th. We're going to have a pre-submittal meeting on April 5th at 10 a.m. for anyone who's interested in coming to the site and seeing what's involved with the development project. And submittals will be due by May 10th at 10 a.m. as well. This building was primarily used for light industrial and manufacturing operations, and it was constructed right around 1858 and comprises of roughly 32,000 square feet. So it's a great business opportunity if you're looking for something in the northern part of town. As I mentioned, the Recreation Department previously, they have moved now over to the Courier Building, which is at 22 Farm Road. The town is leased 4,500 square feet from the Millworks building, which is the former Courier Building, which is a new business venture coming into town. They are building a sporting complex, which we're hoping to have a benefit for all of our residents here in Westford. And last but not least, I just wanted to go over some reminders for town meeting. It's going to be on March 25th, so it's quickly coming up. We have about roughly 3 weeks left. And the deadline to submit nomination papers is March 14th. So if you're interested in any elected position, please contact our town clerk's department and they'll be happy to get you the paperwork. Thank you very much. That's it for this week. Have a nice day.
The weather has been as unpredictable as the stock market lately. Here's Joe Seppi with his forecast.
Hello, Westford. This is Joe Seppi for the weather forecast for this weekend, March 13th. We have to get through some bear cold this weekend before temperatures become more seasonably during the week. Also, don't forget that we have spring forward and turn our clocks ahead 1 hour this weekend. That means spring is right around the corner and longer days are ahead. Here's what's coming up. On Saturday, it'll be mostly sunny with just a few passing clouds. The high will be 23 and a low of a chilly 8 degrees. On Sunday, it'll be partly cloudy with a high of 32 and a low of 13. On Monday, more clouds move in during the day, and there may be some light snow late at night. The high will be 37 degrees and low around 25 degrees. On Tuesday, we may see lingering snow showers in the morning and possibly a couple of inches of snow during the day. The high will be around 39 and low around 22. On Wednesday, it will be mostly sunny with a high of 40 degrees and a low of 23 degrees. On Thursday, it will be partly cloudy during the day with possible light snow showers in the evening. The high will be around 47 degrees and a low of 29 degrees. On Friday, snow and rain may mix in the morning and turn to rain showers in the afternoon. The high will be a spring-like 49 degrees and low around 33 degrees. That was it with the weather. Have a great week, everyone.
Here's Rekha Sharma with this week's health tip.
Hi everyone, I'm Rekha Sharma, back with a new health tip for WestfordCAT News. Today I'm going to talk about licorice. Ayurveda is a science of life, helping you heal better and live better. It promotes strength and vitality. Licorice is an excellent remedy for throat and respiratory disorders. It heals ulcers and inflammation associated with wounds. It is antiemetic and mild laxative. Also relieves thirst and tiredness. It is good for heart health and prevents damage from LDL cholesterol. Discourages the clogging which can damage heart. Researches show that it enhances immunity by boosting levels of interferon. Phytoestrogens in licorice is said to ease symptoms of premenstrual syndrome like irritability, bloating, and tenderness. It has anti-allergic properties. Externally, it can be used in dermatitis and psoriasis. It has antidepressant compounds and help in warding off depression. It is a natural blood purifier as well. For health benefits, take 30 to 40 ml decoction of licorice root once a week. You can also take licorice green tea in your diet. Avoid licorice in pregnancy and high blood pressure. If you have any other allergies, please contact your healthcare provider before consuming. I'll be back with the new health tip. Bye for now.
Vanilla Ice is a chinchilla mix adult male rabbit available now for adoption at the Lowell Humane Society. Here's Patty Stalker with more information on how you can adopt him or another loving pet.
I stopped by the Lowell Humane Society on Broadway Street in Lowell recently to see the pets that are available now for adoption. Marie Belargin, the shelter's volunteer coordinator, introduced me to a chill chinchilla mix rabbit named Vanilla Ice. He has been in the shelter since the end of January.
This is Vanilla Ice. He is an adult male chinchilla mix rabbit. He came into us as a stray, so we don't have any information about his background. But since we've had him, we've found him to be a very, very sweet rabbit. He is very tolerant of handling, a very calm guy. He loves to have treats, veggies. Rabbits are one of the animals that come into the shelter a lot because people aren't quite sure how to take care of them. They do need a lot of attention. A guy like this would need a good sized cage, which we do recommend using X pens, so puppy play pens as caging. They do need out of cage time, time to stretch their legs. And as far as diet goes, they do need a diet made up of a good quality rabbit pellet, hay, as well as fresh fruits and vegetables. Dark leafy greens. Surprisingly enough, they should not have a lot of carrots. It's also important that they have things to play with. This guy really likes to have his greens and treats put in paper bags or toilet paper rolls, so he has to work at it. It's important to keep their minds as well as their bodies busy.
To learn more about Vanilla Ice or any of the other pets available now for adoption, or to find out how to donate, volunteer, foster a pet, or fill their wish list, go to lowellhumanesociety.org or visit them at 951 Broadway Street in Lowell. Call 978-452-7781. For WestfordCAT, I'm Patty Stalker.
And now, here's WestfordCAT Marketing Outreach Manager, Sarah Fletcher, with this week's events around town.
Thanks, Ira. The mix of swing funk vibes will rock the Parish Center for the Arts on April 8th. The Rich Greenblatt Sextet performs as part of the PCA's ongoing jazz series. Enjoy cafe-style seating and bring your own food and drink. Greenblatt, a vibraphonist, has recorded 4 CDs with notable jazz artists and teachers at the Berklee College of Music. Doors open at 7 p.m. Tickets are $18 for members and seniors, $20 for non-members, and teens are just $5. Visit westford.org/PCA to make your purchase, or you can call 978-692-6333. Are you ready for a road trip? There are just a few seats left for this March 21st juggernaut. Seniors are invited on a bus tour to New Hampshire for a stop at Bolton Orchard Farm and brunch at Parker's Maple Barn, where there's real maple syrup for your pancakes. Then you'll travel to Winchendon in Massachusetts to visit Smith's Country for cheese tastings. The cost is $72 per person and includes all gratuities. They'll leave from the Franco-American Club at 55 West Prescott Street at 9:15 a.m. To reserve your seat, call 978-692-5523. And the J.V. Fletcher Library is offering adult coloring parties on the third Thursday of each month. Enjoy light refreshments. The library provides all of the materials, and you'll get a couple of hours to relax and enjoy the latest coloring trend for adults. The next party is on Thursday, March 16th at 7 p.m. No registration is required. I'm Sarah Fletcher, the Marketing Outreach Manager for WestfordCAT. Back to you, Ira.
And that's a wrap, Westford. We end today with oil paintings by Mark Romanowski, Founding Director and current President of the Lowell Parks and Conservation Trust. Romanowski's works depict scenes from Lowell and the surrounding area. We hope you enjoy his art. We'll see you next time, Westford.